Hi, and thanks for joining us today. I'm Taryn, and I'm going to be taking you through a body weight circuit. What that means is that you don't need any extra equipment. Everything will just utilize your own body weight. I'm going to teach you 5 exercises, and we're going to run them through back to back in a circuit, but each circuit is going to get progressively harder. So this way, everyone can choose a level that is right for their bodies. Before we get started, let me introduce you to my amazing team. On this side, I have our handstand and acro queen, Caitlin. In fact, I'm not used to seeing her the right side up. Behind, I have Mariah, our super strong girl. And then we have our yogi and Pilates guru, Yvette. And on the front mat, Adrian, our functional training expert. So they're going to be working with me today to take you through your workout. We're going to get started by warming your body up and just getting you moving. So clear a bit of space, move the couch, move the cat, make sure you've got some room around you, and let's just start by finding our shoulders, because most of us live with our shoulders in our ears, and that's not where they belong. So we want to just drop them down and start to roll around and actually release a bit of that stickiness behind our shoulder blades. So just a couple of rolls backwards and a couple of rolls forwards. We're going to hit the mat and do some 4-point kneeling. So what I want is your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and I want you to hold this position and then round your back and then just come through, lift your collarbones up and arch up this way. If you want to work the breathing into it, you exhale to round and then you inhale as you come through. Just starting to really mobilize through your shoulder blades and really get your spine into the movement. One more time. And then try and find your halfway point where your abdominals are pulled in and your spine is nice and neutral. In this position, dig your toes underneath you. Using your tummy more than your thighs, I want you to try and just hover those knees just off the floor. So you're not up here, you're literally a couple of inches off the floor. And I want you to breathe and use your abs and use your arms and hold down to your knees and have a quick break. If you found that strong, then stick with that. Just come in and out of it as you need to. But if you want to bump it up a notch, come with me. We're going to dig our toes in, we're going to lift those knees off, and we're going to hold that position. Then we're going to straighten our legs and lengthen into our downward dog. Breathe in, and then come forward. You can either come down to your knees or you can come back down to that hover. Let's go again, all the way up, chest through, trying to drop those heels as much as you can, and then come up and over and find that hover. Good, we're going to do one more of those. Lifting up, pushing back, and while you're here, just start to walk into those heels. Get a really beautiful stretch. Well, I don't know if you'd call it beautiful. Some people enjoy it more than others. Stretching out into your hamstrings, through your calves, all the way through the back of your legs. Come down to your knees and stretch back into a rest pose. From here, what I'm going to get you to do is dig your toes underneath you again, and you're going to push forward from your rest pose into your plank. So it looks like this, up and then back down. You have the option of coming forward onto your knees. So it's completely up to you. Now, if you overshoot a little bit and your shoulders end up a bit further past your wrists, that's fine, as long as your wrists feel comfortable with that. Let's go for 5 and back down. And reach up and lengthen. And bring it back down. So remember, work to the level that feels comfortable for your body. And up and back down. Good, we've got 2 more. Pushing up and lengthening and bringing it back down. Last one, push up and hold. Bring it back down to your knees and stretch back. Turn your fingers to the ceiling, stretching out your wrists a little bit. And just settle into a nice rest pose to release your spine. Now, if you can, I would love 5 more of those, because we're going to be back straight after this to get straight into our circuit. All right, guys, we're back and we're going to jump straight into our circuit. So remember, 5 exercises and we're going to run them through back to back. I'm going to throw a couple of options at you so you can choose what level you want to work at. So the first exercise is one that works our whole posterior chain. That just means all the muscles that run along the back of our body. So our back, our lower back, our glutes and our hamstrings. It's called a deadlift, and many of you have done this or seen this done in the gym with the weight. Today we're going to do a body weight variation. So standing, hip width apart, and before you go anywhere, start to engage your inner thighs. So start to feel like you're pulling your feet closer together, and you'll start to feel the muscles of your inner thighs actually switching on. Roll your shoulders back, draw your abdominals in, and now you bend your knees as much as you need to. And all that we're going to do is stick our bum out slightly, keep our spine long, and go as far as we feel comfortable. That may be just to thigh level, that may be all the way down. You then use the back muscles to pull you all the way back up. So we're going to go down for a count of 2. 1, 2, and back up. 1, and shoulders back. Let's go again. Down, down, and up, and up. So remembering you can bend your knees to get down a little bit, but then try and keep that bend when you pull back up again. So work to your level. But I want you to concentrate on really using the muscles behind your thighs, your butt, and your lower back to do the work to bring you back up. Where are we up to? I'm following Caitlin here. Down, and up, and up. Last one. Down, and back up, and up. We're now going to roll down into a plank. That is our second exercise. You're going to start a little bit further back. Same thing, bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands to the floor, and then walk yourself all the way forward into one long line, nice long plank position. You're going to then walk yourselves back and roll yourselves all the way back up. Why are they so slow? Come on guys, rolling down, all the way down, and walking all the way out. Everyone's having a holiday back there. And walking back and rolling yourselves all the way back up. Let's do 2 more. Rolling down and walking up. Hold that position and walking back and rolling yourselves back up. This time you're going to hold it out there. I want you to roll down. I'm going to turn sideways as well. Roll down, walk yourselves out there, and then just drop down to your knees. From this position, we're going to take it into a push-up and side plank. So what that looks like is a push-up. You then bring your hand to the center and flip over to the side. Let's do that again. Push up, and now you flip to the back. And all the way over. Now, if you want to make it, you guys keep going. If you want to make this more challenging, the option is to take it onto your toes. So Adrian can do that variation for me. Push up and plank. Beautiful. And push up. And let's all go the same way. Let's all go to the front. And then again. And push up and to the back. Good. 2 more. And push up and front and push up and to the back. Good job, guys. Everyone's going to flip over onto their backs. We're now going to start working a little bit more into the legs. So lie yourselves down. I want your feet slightly turned out and a little bit wider than hip width apart. What I'm looking for is that you're driving into your heels and pushing your hips straight up. So I'm looking for work through your hamstrings, through your glutes, through your lower back, really driving into those heels. And another benefit is that you're opening up your hip flexors. So many of us have really, really tight muscles through the front of our hips. We spend a lot of time sitting at our desks, driving cars. Hold it up at the top. Stay there. Let's just do some little pulses. Up and up and up. Squeezing your glutes, opening up through the hips. Good. Try not to bridge through your ribs. Keep your ribs nicely connected. And don't forget to breathe. 10 more. All the way down this time. Let's go 10 full. 10 and 9 and 8. Good. Stay with it. Keep thinking of pushing into your heels. Let's go for 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. All the way up to the top. Hold it. And release your spine down and hug your knees into your chest. Everyone should be very well aware of where their hamstrings are right now. All right, let's take it into our curl up. So I'm going to do a slightly different variation of the curl up today. We're going to add in a little bit of leg work. And I'm going to focus on the eccentric work, which is actually the lowering. So pop your hands behind your head. And as you breathe in, lengthen your neck, drop your chin, curl yourself up. Now hold this position. What I want you to do is pull your knee in and try and curl right into it. Now keep your head there and just lower the leg. Pull the second knee in, into a ball. Deepen, deepen, deepen. Keep your upper body there. Just lower your leg. Now if your lower back is okay with it, I want both legs. Into a ball, into a ball, into a ball. Keep your upper body and slowly, slowly, slowly lower those legs. Let your head go back down. Let's do another set of those. Breathing in. Exhale, curl up. And one knee in. Tuck into a ball. Lower just the leg. And tuck into a ball. And everyone's looking very distressed. Both legs tuck in. It's not that bad. And lower it down. Are you all breathing? And release back down. We only have one more set. I promise. Sort of, maybe. Lengthen and curl all the way up. Stay there. Pull your knee in and lower the leg down. And pull the knee in and lower the leg down. Last one. Come on. Into a ball, into a ball, into a ball. And very slowly. Lower, 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 lower. And release down. Just drop your knees from side to side. Ah, crack, crack, crack. That was good. Release and just give your spine a chance to come out of that stretch. Roll onto your side. Push yourselves up and standing up. Now, we're going to cut to a break, but if you remember the exercises, feel free to start from the beginning. But as soon as we get back, we're going to add on slightly more challenging options. We'll see you soon. All right, guys, we're back. We're going to run through that circuit again, get your heart rate up and get you working hard. I'm going to give you some slightly more advanced options for the people that want to challenge themselves, but as always, stick to what is safe for your body. All right, we're going to go into our deadlifts, same as we did before, but Caitlin has very nicely volunteered to do the advanced option, which is a single leg deadlift. Exactly the same, but on one leg. So we're going to do 8, she's going to do 4 and 4. Up to you who you follow, and let's take it down and then draw all the way back up, roll your shoulders. And again, butt out behind, arms long and coming all the way back up. Make sure you give your shoulders that little reset in between so that you've got that nice open chest and long spine. I think this is number 4. She'll keep me honest because she's doing the single leg ones and she doesn't want to do more than she has to. Last 4. 4 and up. I've never claimed to be a good counter. I talk too much to count well. That's 3. Last 2. 2. And up. And 1. How's the balance going over there? She's doing really well. Let me just tell you how uneven this ground is. Good job. All right, we're going to go straight into our roll down to plank, but we're going to hold it out in plank this time. Everyone's going to roll down. You're going to come out into your long front support. Now you can do it on your knees and hold it there. You can do it on your toes, or you can come with me to mountain climber. Let's go in and in and in and in. Pushing into your hands, pulling those knees into your chest. Let's try for 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down to your knees and have a quick rest pose. Now, I'm going to hop over to Adrian because we're going to go into our push-up side plank. You can do it on your knees and you can do it on your toes. I'm going to show you the variation. You guys can stick to doing it on your knees. I'm going to be really mean over here. And what Adrian's going to do, he's going to go down into his push-up. He's going to put his back hand into the center when he comes up and flip onto his side. The option is to have your feet separate. That's going to give you a bigger base of support and make it a little bit easier. The second variation, he's going to go into his push-up, and then he'll face me, but he'll stack his feet one on top of the other. And then you've got good job, a much smaller base of support. All right, and let's come back. And then the third variation is probably the hardest one. Coming up and taking it into a star. Good job. And hold. Beautiful, and come back to center. Good, take it back into your rest pose. We're gonna do one more quick set of those, and you can choose the level that you wanna work at. Just 4 more. Let's all go together. Push up, face the front, and side plank. And again, push up, and side plank. Good, 2 more. Push up, and beautiful side plank. And last one, push up, and beautiful side plank. Flip straight onto your backs. Let's take it into our hip lifts. So from here, we did the double legs before. This time we're gonna do single legs if you wanna make it harder. So hips up, your feet are parallel if you're doing the single legs. One leg all the way up, and we're gonna go for 8. Tailbone down, lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Put that leg down, take the other leg up. The good thing, tailbone down now, about exercising in the rain is you can't tell how much we're actually sweating. It's hard to tell the difference. 4 more, 4. Very refreshing. 2, 1, bend your knee, put your foot down and roll yourself back down, hug your knees in. We also can have a quick drink. We can just open our mouths, lying on our backs here if we need it. Hands behind your head. We're going into our curl-ups. I'm going to give you a slightly harder variation if you want it. Curling up, hold it here. One knee comes in, then you lower it down. Second knee comes in, then you lower it down. Now listen, both knees come in, they extend out, they come back in, and you lower it down. Now stay up, don't drop down in between. Pull it in, lower it down. Pull it in, lower it down. Now pull them both in, extend them out, pull them in, lower it down. One more time, let's go. Tuck in, lower it down. Tuck in, lower it down. Tuck both knees in. Extend them out, pull them in, lower it down, and release and drop your knees from side to side. Give your back a stretch. All right, enough resting. Jump straight back up. We are going to keep running through that and see how much we can get through. We're going to go straight into our deadlifts. Feet hip width apart, shoulders back, and let's go straight into it, down. So one of the things I like about moving from standing to lying as well is it gives you a quick jump up in heart rate as well. Lowering down and up. Lowering it down and up. Let's just go for 2 more. And up. And last one. And up. We're going to come forward into our plank, either your kneeling plank or your full plank. You can hold it or you can do mountain climber with me. Let's go for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down to your knees if you need to. Stay on your toes if you want to. Let's go. Push up. And side. And push up. And side. Good job, guys. Push up. And side. Last one. Push up. And side. Flip straight over onto your back. Let's see how many hip lifts we can get out of this. You can do single leg. You can do double leg. Hips up, leg up if you want, and let's go all the way up. And up. And up. See if you can keep running with this, guys. Try for 10 on each leg. We'll be back straight after this. How good does that feel? We've worked up a sweat, we've worked our entire bodies, and now we get to breathe and do some stretching and mobilizing and enjoy it. We're going to head down to our mat, stretch out our hip flexors, stretch out our hamstrings. So start kneeling and take one foot out in front of you. And what I want you to do is, rather than just dropping into it, feel like you're tucking your tailbone underneath and feel that stretch through the front of your hip. So it's nearly like hitching your belt up a little bit. And straight away you should feel that engage. I want you to hold that there a little bit longer and just see if we can release before we step forward. Take a couple of breaths. Enjoy your beautiful surroundings, which not many people get to go to work in front of the bridge and the opera house. We have very, very tough jobs. Take a step forward, drop down into it now, hands to the floor. So you can just let your hip drop down now and try and get a beautiful release out of the front of that hip. Dig your back toes in and then straighten that leg. Now your hand can be on the outside or it can be on the inside. It's completely up to you where you feel comfortable. Everybody's body is different. I want you to push into that back heel now and try and straighten that front leg a little bit. Wherever you get to, you're aiming to keep your spine nice and long. So I want long spines, long legs, and then bend into that front knee. Push into that back heel and lengthen. Try not to let the foot turn. Try and genuinely push it straight down behind you and keep some length. And then drive through that front leg and get that beautiful hamstring stretch and calf stretch in the back leg. Good. Come down to your knees. Let's switch sides. Take the other foot out. Same thing, tucking under slightly to get that stretch through the front. So you want to really get that release before you go forward and drop into it. So hitch up your belt. I've actually got a belt here. Hitch up the microphone belt, release into that. And then very slowly take that step forward and don't just collapse into it. Control. So even feel like you're lifting as you're coming down. You'll get a much more controlled stretch. Hands to the floor. And breathe into it. Feel that open. Try not to hold on too much. Dig the back toes in and lengthen that back leg away. Good. When you're ready, on your exhale, if you can, try and lengthen that front leg and get some beautiful length out of your spine. We did a lot of work focusing on your hamstrings today, those hip lifts, the deadlifts coming forward, a lot of spinal work, a lot of hamstring work, so we want to stretch it all out now. Let's do that again. Lengthen back. So you're aiming to push that back heel down, keep your spine as long as you can, and then bend that front knee. We've got one more. Get a little bit more juice out of it. Lengthen, head in line, and then coming all the way back down to your knees. Beautiful. I want to do a glute stretch. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can sit cross-legged, and a lot of us are really tight in our hips. Think about how much time we spend sitting on the computers, driving our cars, sitting in front of the TV, and everyone sits like this. Tight in the hip flexors, tight in the chest. So sit cross-legged, reach forward, and see if you feel the stretch already in your hips and your glutes. If you do, that's where I want you to stay. If you want to make it a little bit deeper, you can cross one shin over the other. So you're trying to get more or less a straight line, and what would be good is if you can actually get them touching and reach forward. So you choose whatever level is going to work for you. Reaching, long spines, breathing into it. And holding that. Switching sides. Same thing on the other leg. Whatever you did on the first leg, you do on the other leg. And I really hope you had fun and enjoyed that workout. We certainly did. And we look very forward to seeing you the next time on Alive.